Today, we talk about the mysterious case of JonBenét Ramsey. What happened to this beautiful little girl? JonBenét was a 6-year-old beauty queen who was tragically murdered. Her case is still unsolved today. JonBenét Ramsey was born on August 6, 1990. She lived in Boulder, Colorado, with her parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, and her older brother, Burke. She was a friendly and an energetic little girl. She loved to sing and dance. She was so full of life. She also competed in beauty pageants. She was very talented. However, her participation in beauty pageants were later criticized. She wore heavy makeup and dressed in adult-like fashion. People thought it wasn't appropriate for her age. The Ramsey family was very wealthy. John Ramsey was the CEO of a very successful computer services company in Boulder. His net worth was estimated to be about $6.4 million. Patsy Ramsey was a homemaker and former beauty queen. She won Miss West Virginia in 1977. They lived in a beautiful home in a wealthy part of town in Boulder, Colorado. The Ramsey family had very extravagant Christmas traditions. Patsy loved decorating their home in lights and ornaments. They loved hosting annual Christmas parties. What are some Christmas traditions you have with your family? Unfortunately, one Christmas tradition wasn't the same, and it changed their lives forever. On December 25th, 1996, the Ramsey family enjoyed their Christmas traditions as usual at home. In the evening, they went to a Christmas dinner at a friend's house and returned home. At home, Patsy tucked her children into bed. The next morning, as Patsy was going to the kitchen to make coffee, she found a ransom note on their staircase. The ransom note demanded $118,000 in cash for JonBenét's safe return. Patsy nervously and quickly called 911. She reported her daughter has been kidnapped and mentioned the ransom note.
911 emergency.
Police.
What's going on?
515th Street.
What's going on there, ma'am?
We have a kidnapping. Hi, please.
Explain to me what's going on, okay?
There's a note left and our daughter's gone.
A note was left and your daughter is gone? How old is your daughter?
6 years old. She's gone. 6 years old.
How long ago was this?
I don't know. I just found the note. And my daughter's
Does it say who took her?
What?
Does it say who took her?
I don't know. There's a ransom note here.
It's a ransom note?
It says SBTC. Victory. Please.
Okay, what's your name? Are you
Patsy Ramsey, I'm the mother. Oh my God. Please.
I'm sending an officer over, okay?
Please.
Do you know how long she's been
No,
gone?
I don't. Please, we just got out. Is she right here? Oh my God, please.
Okay,
Please, there's somebody.
I am, honey.
Please.
Take a deep breath,
Please,
okay?
hurry.
Patsy.
The ransom note mentioned these were a foreign group. They demanded the money to be delivered by 10 a.m. at a specific location for JonBenét's safe return. They warned not to involve the police and threatened to harm JonBenét if the instructions were not followed. The note was signed Victory. SBTC. Police officers Rick French and Carl Veitch arrived quickly at the Ramsey house after the 911 call. However, they made many mistakes. First, they did not block off the crime scene. By this time, some of the Ramseys' friends were in the house to support them. Many people were walking in and out of the house, which led to contamination of the crime scene. The officers also did a quick search of the house but did not check the basement. There was a detective on the scene, Detective Linda Arndt, who at the time was new to the Boulder Police Department. There were no crime scene investigators or forensic experts present. Boulder was a very safe city with few murders, so the police were unprepared for a case like this. 8 hours after being in the house, Detective Arndt asked John Ramsey and his friend to search the house again. John went straight to their wine cellar in the basement where he found JonBenét dead, covered with a blanket. He hurried to pick her up and carried her upstairs. Patsy was hysterical. She screamed and cried uncontrollably. There were many strange things about this case. Let's go back to the ransom note. Remember, the ransom note stated this was a kidnapping. Why would this foreign group write a ransom note after already killing JonBenét? It was later revealed that the ransom note was written inside the Ramsey house using their own pen and notepad. It seems strange for someone to commit a murder and then stay to write a note. The ransom demand of $118,000 was the same as John Ramsey's end-of-year bonus. This made people think that the killer might have known the family. The public started to suspect John and Patsy Ramsey because they also did some strange things. First, at the end of Patsy's 911 call, when she thought the call was over, her tone changed from panic to anger. It sounded like she was scolding someone. Also, a child's voice could be heard in the background, even though John and Patsy said Burke was asleep the whole time. The ransom note demanded John to deliver the money by 10 a.m., else they kill JonBenét. However, 10 a.m. passed and the Ramseys didn't panic. They didn't seem to make any efforts to follow the directions of the ransom note. After JonBenét's body was found, the Ramseys started making plans to fly to Atlanta to be with family. This was strange because they were needed to cooperate with the police and help with the investigation. They hired lawyers shortly and stopped speaking to the police. John and Patsy were never charged with the murder of JonBenét Ramsey, but many people still suspect them to this day. Patsy died on June 24, 2006, at the age of 49 from ovarian cancer. The next suspect was Burke, JonBenét's older brother. Some people think Burke might have hurt her by accident. Burke did his first interview on Dr. Phil, which made people even more suspicious. Many viewers thought Burke's behavior was strange during the interview. He seemed very calm, smiled a lot, and showed little emotion when talking about his sister's death. Burke has always denied being involved in JonBenét's death. There were other potential suspects. Gary Oliva, who was a convicted pedophile. He allegedly admitted to killing JonBenét in a letter, but his DNA did not match the DNA found at the crime scene. Michael Helgoth. He worked in a junkyard and was involved in burglaries. He died by suicide shortly after JonBenét's death. He was never charged with the murder. Bill McReynolds. He was a local man who dressed as Santa and visited the Ramsey home. Some people suspected him because he paid too much attention to JonBenét. He kept glitter she gave him and wanted it mixed with his ashes when he died. Bill was also never charged in JonBenét's murder. Finally, John Mark Carr. In 2006, John Mark Carr, a former schoolteacher, falsely confessed to the murder of JonBenét. He was later cleared because his DNA did not match the DNA found at the crime scene. It's been 23 years, and JonBenét's murder is still unsolved. The question is, why did this happen? JonBenét would be 34 years old now. She was a child full of life, and it was all brutally taken away from her. Lots of people still care about this case. Hopefully, one day the truth will come out, and the person responsible will face justice. May her soul rest in peace. What do you think happened to JonBenét Ramsey? Tell us in the comments. Please like and subscribe for more simple English stories and questions.